Hello and welcome to Dungeon Not Included. I am your DM for the night, your Dracula Master, because today we are playing Fuck, It's Dracula.
All right.
Please welcome the players and my co-hosts, Brennan Taylor, Frank, and Alex.
Hey there, everyone at home. This is a
Yay.
podcast, so I'm going to say noises instead of.
I get a last name and you all don't. So
Yeah, it's true.
Well, they don't have their last names in there.
Mine's in my handle.
That's right.
saying.
Yeah.
Well, la-di-da. Aren't you special?
And already. So I'm so excited to play this. I'm so excited. I'm so very excited about this. I don't even know if people know what the name is, that it wasn't just a joke.
Yeah,
the game we're actually playing.
Yeah, so for those at home who are, I'm sure many people know this, but for those who don't, there is I don't know if there still is. There used to be, from 2015 to 2019, there was a 200-word RPG challenge where they asked designers for funsies to see if they could create a workable RPG, tabletop RPG that uses less than 200 words. The year I did it was, I think, 2018, and there were like 800 entries, 75 finalists. I happen to have been one. You can find mine on there if you want to. It's called 9 Holes in Hell. It's a Dante's Inferno miniature golf RPG. And
burying
then
the lead, we want to play that next.
Hey, why didn't you bring this up?
Because this is directly
that.
we can absolutely play that at some point. I thought fucking Dracula worked pretty well though, because it's connected to our last campaign. It's a very different tone version of the same thing. This one is by
our last few games.
Yeah, this actually is kind of a combination, right? Because this is vampires in space.
Yeah.
It was Fuck It's Dracula was a 2018 RPG finalist, and it was by, I'm gonna get this totally wrong, Levon Jahanian, and his Twitter handle is Fork Frenzy, all one word. If anyone's looking to ask him about Fuck It's Dracula, or let him know we're playing.
Also, all of these 200-word RPGs are free online. You can play them with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So after this, if you thought it was a really fun game, go find Fuck It's Dracula on the 200-word RPG site at GitHub.
Yeah, there's probably thousands of free games on here, because there was, and that one year, as I said, the year I did it, there were 800. So between all the others, like, it's got to be thousands of RPGs, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. First things first. We're going to create characters. So step 1 is roll a d6. Everybody's going to roll a d6 for one of the 4 stats.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is going to be aggress.
So who's running our rolls? Because we are doing this at digital at home for everyone, but one person's going to be doing our rolls for us. Who's doing that?
Is that fun enough to do? Do we want to share
I'm
character rolls?
I'm totally cool.
You do it, Frank.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Roll the bones.
Yes, I've been so excited to do this, and I'm sure my killer lag is gonna. There it is. Ooh, 6.
Ooh.
All right.
All right. So are we going straight down?
Let's go straight down. Let's go. That's yours.
That's for Frank. For aggress.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do Alex's aggress next. A 2.
2. Okay.
Wow.
I swear, if
then-
I'm playing sticky, I'll be very upset.
This is a game that benefits you from having high numbers, because you're trying to meet or get low, hit or get lower than your number.
Okay.
So Frank's our aggressive boy.
My aggress is 5.
So I'm just the only one who's not going to be aggressive. Okay.
That's right.
All right. So Frank, let's do your comprehend next.
All right. I swear,
2.
I'm playing sticky.
2 in comprehend.
Yeah, very aggressive, does not comprehend things. Alex's comprehends is a 5.
All right, good,
Perfect.
good.
And Brennan's
Is a 1.
Wow. We got a couple of meatheads on the team here.
And a nerd.
Next stat is Enrapture, Frank.
Oh, man.
A 6. A very charismatic meathead, I see.
Nice, just like real life. All right,
A 5 for Alex's. And a 5 for Brennan's.
So
you are all very charismatic.
Well, let's see how well we survive. That is our last stat.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's a 6 for Frank.
Jeez, Frank.
Yeah.
A 5 for Alex. And a 3 for Brennan. All right. So next, everybody's gonna roll 1d6 for an item from the list.
All right.
Frank, you go first.
I got a 4.
And that is a mirror.
Of course I have a mirror. My Enrapture is a 6.
And if you'll roll the die for Alex's item.
Oh, come on. I want the crow so bad.
No, you get a book, which makes sense.
I'll take a book.
You're a big nerd.
I am a big nerd. I'll take my book.
And lastly, it's Brennan's, which is a 2, which is a picture. So for those of you at home, the other options were a knife, some water, or a crow. So,
I mean, all the most useful things in the world, really.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So next, each of you is going to write down who or what your character loves most.
Should we name our characters first?
Yeah, let's do that. Does anybody have ideas already?
Mine's Jimmy Frankenstein.
Okay.
No relation.
Wow.
Well, if you think about it, Frankenstein was the doctor, but me correcting you on this point am the monster.
It's true. 100% true. You are the monster.
Yeah.
Yes, Jimmy Frankenstein, no relation.
Brennan or Frank, do either of you have
my character's name? I'm sorry. You got one, Brennan, or no? You're still thinking?
No, I'm still thinking.
Mm-hmm. I will say,
is this where the game's gonna come crashing down?
I got it.
No. I will say, I will suggest, if we want to go with the no relation theme of everybody just having a last name that's like a monster.
Oh yeah.
But that's
I'm
with
Chad Broham.
Nice.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mustache. Frank.
So
someone's reading our we're writing our character sheets as we're doing this. My character's name is Mustachio Exemplary. That's just
okay.
And that's it. That's his name. It
that's
came to
really
me in a dream.
Name.
Thank you.
Came to you in a dream.
So
Brennan, loving that.
Brennan has written down that, or do we want to share these?
We can go. Yeah, we can go.
Let's go with Frank.
Frank, what Mustachio Exemplary loves the most is, of course, himself.
Yes, absolutely. That's why the mirror. And yeah.
What Chad Broham loves the most is Mustachio.
Good.
And what Jimmy Frankenstein loves the most is his dad.
Yeah.
For Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
I just want to say that Chekhov's gun suggests very strongly that I'm Alex's dad.
See, that's not true. It implies that somebody is Jimmy Frankenstein. Frankenstein or Frankenstein?
Frankenstein. Did I spell it wrong?
No.
Yeah, it's the E after the I.
Thank you. E after the I.
Correct. No,
so
I'm sorry. You had no. It's I
had
after
it wrong.
E. You had it wrong, and then I said it wrong. riveting audio.
Yes.
Riveting audio.
All right.
Yeah, I'm all right. We have a great group together. Do we actually talk about what this game is about, other than that wonderful title?
Well, there is a little bit that.
Yeah, I will. Now that we've finished character creation, let me set the scene for our audience. The year is 3400 CE, Common Era, because AD is a really outdated term.
100%.
You are simple villagers on the desert planet Thanaxio. Humans live throughout the galaxy, and you are living your simple village lives when a coffin-shaped pod crashes to the south of the village. Now, the play encompasses 5 phases, and we'll begin, of course, with the first phase. You start with number 1, which is investigating the coffin. And I am going to roll a die to decide what happens at the beginning of this phase. Frank, if you would.
Absolutely. Hold on a minute. Let me add that back in. And roll. 4.
Number 4. Ooh, a betrayal. Spicy. So what do each of your characters do in the village? Like, what are your jobs? Mustachio?
Mustachio is the village's dancer. He is a professional dancer. He's there to entertain and to keep things light, because it's hard living out in space and farming for whatever it is we farm. I don't know. I don't understand any of it.
Let's go straight Star Wars and say you farm water.
Makes sense. We farm water.
Planet.
It takes so much water to make water. And basically I am the exotic dancer for the village, and it's a very important.
He keeps wasting
role.
He keeps wasting all the water doing the flash dance sequence too. Like every night, he just dumps the bucket on himself.
It's just it's worth it.
Super
really
inconvenient.
Jimmy Frankenstein, what do you do in the village?
I think I'm the doctor. I think that's got to be it, right? Let's just go with Dr. Frankenstein.
No relation.
No relation. So he's the doctor. He was brought as one of the first people to when they set up the colony here, this village. He's been here for a while, since they first started founding it, because I think that in this futuristic society, hopefully, when they start doing these setups of these colonies, they have a certain set group organization in mind beforehand. You need to have at least one person who knows crops, you need one person who knows engineering, one person who knows medicine, whatever, to make sure that the
person who knows dance,
of course, entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It's super useful.
Mm-hmm.
So doctor.
Nice.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Frankenstein. Chad, what do you do in the village?
I guard the water stores because every other job that they gave me, I could not comprehend.
That makes sense. So what drew you to the pod that crashed onto your desert planet? Why are you 3 the ones who went to investigate?
Well, as the guard, I was afraid that it was a threat to our water stores.
Of course.
But I didn't want to go alone.
So you grabbed...
I invited Mustachio.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you, Jimmy? Why did you come along?
I think that I was in my office, just maybe even seeing a patient, and I saw the white light of this thing crashing down into the planet. And I think I kind of just gave that person, like, quickly finished up whatever I was doing, sent them out the door, and then my own curiosity had me running towards it. And I think I ran into these guys on that way.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Mustachio, you were invited, of course, but is that the only reason that you came?
I actually assumed once I got the invite that I was essential to this mission.
Of course.
That I don't know why exactly. I didn't really put a lot of thought into it, but it makes sense to me. It tracks. Yes, you need the village's exotic dancer to be there for moral support.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. So the three of you have left the village. You're going to go investigate. And as you approach, there are these long tracks in the dirt where the pod has skidded across the surface before finally crashing. And luckily, it's a desert planet. Most villages are pretty far apart, so nothing was damaged in the crash. But you are confused because usually, like, if something comes to the surface of the planet, it's scheduled. It's usually very, orderly. People descend, they land. They don't crash into the planet. So this is a really odd occurrence. What are you doing to investigate?
I'm walking along the crash skid mark to see what made the crash. But I have my hand on my sidearm just in case something happens.
Okay. Can you roll comprehend for me?
I can roll it, sure.
He can roll. All right.
Yeah.
So I need to get a 1, right?
You
can
high or lower.
Match or lower.
Okay.
So.
Well, I have a 1 in comprehend, so I need to get a 1.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We just rolled a 4.
I didn't realize it was that low.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So with a 4, you're walking along, and these are skid marks, but it's not from anything you've ever seen. Or if it is from something you've seen, you don't recognize it. Or it's from something that's new that you've never even heard of before. Or maybe it's just like, something normal, but you don't really care. One of those things.
So I will look very sternly at Jimmy Frankenstein and say, "What do you make of this, Doctor?"
I like it.
Is a wise man who knows what he does not know. There we go.
So this is the space future, right?
Yes.
Yes. It's 3,400 feet.
Then I dismount from my giant snail mount that I rode in on. They're faster than the regular ones, but yeah, I dismount from the large snail, and I go over and I go to see if I can understand what's going on here. I'm assuming I'm doing a comprehend roll, and by I mean Frank.
Are you investigating the tracks, or you're at the crash site?
I'm at the crash. If we're getting close enough to the crash site that I can see it, I'm just gonna. I'll go and ride on up. We'll slither on up to the crash site there, and I'll dismount and go investigate.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a comprehend for me.
A 5, which for me I believe is good, right? Because I have a 5. Yes, so I comprehend the shit out of this. Yes.
So that's a success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
I congratulate Chad for suggesting that Jimmy look into it. That the top Thank you, Chad.
So
you did, by the way, when I failed, you did get to write something on my character sheet if you wanted to.
I will in just a moment.
No problem.
You are investigating the pod. It's a standard galactic transport pod. You know, classic one-man vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Although there's some things you notice about it that are kind of weird. Like, usually there's a visor so that you can, like, see the stars as you go by, but it's been completely blacked out.
Nice.
And so it's like this person didn't even want to see the wonders of the universe on their way here. And the other thing you notice is that instead of the normal, nutrient packs and water supplies that you would have, it's empty, and there's like a sticky red substance in there. Like, definitely not regular food paste. It's a little bit too viscous for that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go ahead and lick it, it does taste coppery.
I feel like that might be one of our other people who would do that. I don't think that Jimmy Frankenstein's first
going to lick it.
To lick the
strange
substance that's leaking out of this pod. I think I relay this information to them. I say, so it looks like it's just a normal pod, but it's, way off course. It shouldn't be way out here. And I don't know. Maybe they're just still sleeping. They put a blackout light on there. I'm not sure how far they. If they're doing a night. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Also, what time of day is it currently in this world?
It is just past sunset.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So is the pod open or closed?
The pod is open.
Okay.
And there's no one inside it.
Okay.
We should probably start looking for this survivor. I mean, this is. I assume they've got to be disoriented. This is not any regulation landing zone, and it's you guys know how cold it gets out here at night.
I don't like that this is non-regulation. That's really bothering me.
Sounds like 1,000 things running right into our brain.
There's a stampede coming.
Oh no! It's
the sails.
Alien stampede animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got those Sleipnir horses here. They all have 8 legs. It's really bad.
I was already in the process of taking off my shirt, as you do. And I'm like, listen, I feel like we should probably do something about this pod, making sure that the person inside isn't or wasn't sick or poor or something horrible that screws up with our village. Maybe we should do something. We should figure this out, track them down, and make sure everything's good.
That sounds fine to me. Based on my initial look, it doesn't look like anything was broken or so. I have no reason to believe this person was injured in this crash. But I don't. Do you guys see anything in the way of like real tracks for us to follow, or how can we tell which direction they've gone off in? In your years of dancing, have you gotten any sort of skill set that might help us detect where this person went?
I assume so.
Yeah. So
I look out into the distance and try to think of something that might be appropriate. And yeah, I'm just gonna. I have incredible confidence. I am certain something I know will help in this situation, but I'm just gonna wing it. What if any? What should I do?
So I guess my question is, how are you trying to approach this? Like, what do you want to do? What do you think your dance will help you with?
So yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm feeling the music in my head, nodding my head for podcast listeners. Yeah. If I were injured or sick or poor, I would, and I'm trying to inhabit the body of the person who may have been in this vessel and see where they would, where the rhythm would take them. So I'm just going to try to see if I can, I'm assuming something bad has happened to me. So how do I look for shelter and stuff? What do I do? What's the first thing I see, and where do I want to go?
I'm going to have you make a survive roll.
Okay. I like that. I made it, believe it or not.
Nice.
Yeah, because you have 6 survive.
Somehow this character keeps surviving.
You can dance your way out of any situation.
Yeah, you're trying to put your head in the mind of somebody who's injured. And if you were injured in a crash, the village is kind of far. But there is a creepy cave over there on Dracula Mountain that you might seek shelter in for the moment.
Yeah. I love it.
But at the same time, Dracula Mountain is a pretty treacherous place. And you probably wouldn't want to go there without supplies.
Maybe not even at night. That seems like a wait until morning thing. I think you're right.
Yeah, so I basically convey all that to all of you through interpretive dance, which is a lot of me making I'm dancing my way towards the town. I'm it's an easy dance, and then I stop and I hesitate and I look and I point at double point finger gun towards Dracula Mountain, and then I go that way and I hesitate. I'm really good, so most 30% of this. That's not most, but 30% of this gets through pretty quickly. Yeah, that's where I would go. Dracula Mountain, but I don't really have the right clothing for this right now. You know what I mean?
I'll nod.
Yeah, no,
this guy you said had no supplies, so he's going to be wanting to go for the water. That's my thinking.
So you think he's gone back to the? You thinking rather than seeking shelter, you think he's gone back for to check out the water source?
I mean, it's possible.
That's my instinct.
Possible. My dance did not show that. My research didn't really point in that direction, but it is, of course, it's possible. It's just a long way to go for a little drink.
I think that you both are exhibiting sound judgment here between your dance skills, which are unquestioned. Your survival instinct through dance is just too perfect. It's a perfect score.
No doubt.
And if anybody understands the security of our water, it's absolutely going to be Chad. So I think what we should do is do a quick check of this cave, just to see if the dance is right. But either way, if we don't find anything in the cave, I think we have to go back for both the water and for supplies. How does that sound to you two?
Good plan.
It sounds like we're going into that cave pretty much unarmed and me barely dressed. So yeah, I'm okay with it.
Well, I understand the hesitancy, but we have to make sure he's okay. Plus, Chad brought his gun, right, Chad?
I did.
That's gender normative of you, man. You don't know what to eat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean you, Chad. I meant, well, I guess we don't know anybody really. But yes, let's do this. Let's go to Mount Dracula.
We mount up on our snails.
We all get snails.
We'll slide towards the.
Well, I assume you guys come on your snails. If you didn't bring your snails, that's on you. I mean,
I would love it if Chad and Mustachio are on horseback.
This traditional horse, and then this
Jimmy's
one
on his
snail shows up.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
We're riding those Sleipnir horses. So.
Yeah.
So as you ride on your snails and your Sleipnir horses, respectively,
So many legs.
which, by the way, Brennan, I just want you to note that on your character sheet, I have written that you're a snail guy, which is like a horse girl, but for snails.
Okay. So I'm very jealous of Jimmy's snail.
You're
Yeah.
and he's like trailing behind us, but you're still like, oh, it must be such an easy ride. None of that
They're such
around.
beautiful, majestic creatures.
They are.
Yeah, but it's no one can tame them, really, right?
Literally, this is not a good animal to
Wild heart can't be tamed.
So
I like
the
to
tear
bring
from
that-
my eye.
I love the idea that Chad's like got a backpack at home that's like a Lisa Frank, but with snails instead of like horses
Yes.
on them.
yeah,
Well, I have
for
like,
sure.
like my school notebook. It's like all these little drawings of snails in the margins.
Oh man.
You read all those classic middle grade fiction novels about girls who befriend snails who couldn't make it in the big race, but through their friendship managed to win in the end. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Love
So,
this.
who is your closest confidant in the village? I want to ask each of you. Let's start with you, Chad.
Definitely my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still live with her, so.
And what's your mom's name?
Brenda.
Nice.
Brenda Brohame.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Something about that name is great.
What about you, Mustachio?
Oh, let's see. I need a rival. I think I need a rival who like who basically just every time I try to like chill out the vibe, he ruins it. He is a our terraforming expert, like part of the guild that was originally part of the terraforming of this planet we're on. So it's kind of a traditional role, but he is a scientist. He's like an environmental scientist, and he's constantly harshing everyone's buzz. His name is Gary.
Gary. Yeah, classic Pokemon Gary rivalry.
We don't have enough water to survive the next 50 years. Thanks, Gary. Splash.
And what about you, Jimmy Frankenstein?
I think Jimmy has a will they, won't they friendship relationship dynamic with Mary Shelley, the local librarian.
Oh,
Space
Of
librarian.
course.
Space librarian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In space.
Yeah.
right.
So you guys ride on to this cave. And
Before we get there, I do want to ask
Mhm.
Jimmy real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What's your snail's name?
Anyone at home wanna
Name that snail.
Name
my
that
snail.
snail.
Add it in the
Anyone?
comments. Just the name of the snail. We'll take it and we will add it to this cute little guy.
it will be
on
canon.
screen. And, yeah, canon.
Yeah. We'll wait on that. I think we can give that a minute or two.
Yeah,
see if
sure.
anyone jumps
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
All right, so we're heading to the cave.
Yeah, you're heading to the cave. As you get close, you do see what looks like some footprints. Because this is less sandy. It's more rocky. There's some actual like hard packed earth where you can get real footprints and not just like trails or tracks or what have you. And you see a couple of footprints on the way to a cave in Dracula Mountain. And as you enter and you look around, it looks like a pretty standard cave system on Dracula Mountain. This one is about 9 feet in diameter, easy to walk through, and these tunnels extend all throughout the mountain. They go up, they go down, they loop around, they twist and turn. It's a pretty dangerous place to be if you don't know your way around.
Do the footprints lead anywhere inside?
The footprints are heading into the cave, but inside it's rock, so you don't find more on the way inside.
Well, I think we tie up our respective animals outside, and I think honestly, Frankenstein will kind of hang back and let you two go first, just based upon my aggress is not high enough for me to rationalize my character being like, out of my way, I need to go before you all.
Out of my way, I need to go before all of you. A little bit.
There you go.
Chad's like, go right ahead, and he'll follow closely behind. There's nothing like watching you move your way through the cave.
That's right. All right. So I can limber up a little bit, and then I just confidently go in.
All right.
Yeah.
So are you looking for anything in the cave?
Not at first. Not at first. I'm working on my confidence. I want to make sure that I exude confidence so that the rest of the party feels confident. That's my role here in this village. But then eventually I am going to I'll keep my eyes open and maybe I'll see something.
Right. What is anybody else like actively investigating?
I think for this game, as narratively, it should probably be at least probably the two of them as they're going first. I'm basically behind them, so I'm not really going to see anything before they do.
Right.
I'm too busy looking at Mustachio.
So I think then Mustachio's got to make this roll.
Yeah.
Mustachio, give me that comprehend roll.
All right, my comprehend's 2. Let's see it. Oh no!
A 5.
That is a 5. So you're
I do
looking
drop
around.
to a knee. I drop to a knee and I'm like, look. I pick up something and I look at it. I'm doing my best, like Viggo Mortensen, as if something like this means something to me, but I don't know what I'm doing. I just know you're supposed to squat and get up and look at things. And that's all I'm doing. I'm looking really impressive.
Wait.
Uh-oh. Something's being written on your character
transition.
sheet, Mustachio. We can tell from the clacking keys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm getting like Pavlov dog response for popcorn. Like, it sounds like it's in the bag.
Sorry, new laptop.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I guess you have to return it. Get one that's quieter for stream.
Mustachio gets up. He's pretty confident. He's doing a good job of looking like a person who's investigating things. And then, but just to check, take out the mirror that I always carry with me and look in it, and I see that my eyebrows are a little crooked to me, and I spend the rest of this, effectively this scene, trying to get it perfect. My hair needs to be perfect, and I shook. I'm really shook up right now.
Yeah, I think if we don't find anything in like an hour, I'm going to be like, we got to go back to the village. I'm sure he's looking for our water.
Yeah, before you say that, after about 10 minutes in here, you hear somebody behind you say, "Well done, boys." And as you turn around, you see Mary Shelley standing in the entrance to the cave.
Mm-hmm.
She's holding a blaster on the three of you and has a detonator in her other hand. Looks like
What's going on, Mary?
Looks like you've solved my little problem about where our uninvited guest has come to. I'm sorry to say it, but these caves stretch on for miles. You could be lost in here forever, and I'm not willing to take the chance that they're going to get out.
Mary, do you have a little pair of scissors? And hi. Do you have like a little, or tweezers? Or why is everyone got guns?
Why are you pointing the blaster at us, Mary?
If you guys can slip out, so can he. And I'm not willing to take that chance.
Do you know... Hi, Mary. Do you happen to know anything about this particular ship? We were unable to find any identifying marks. Just that it was... the windows were blacked out. They had some sort of alternative nourishment source. That's not one that I would have recognized. Now, granted, it's been a while since I've been off planet. How about you? Do you have any idea what's going on here?
I've been tracking this monster for years. He's been planet hopping. And I've been trying to catch him. I thought maybe he'd given up. Thought maybe I could settle down, have a nice normal life here. But everything's changed. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And she blows the detonator, and the cave entrance comes crumbling down in front of you. You're sealed inside this cave with no supplies and apparently no way out. That is the end of phase 1.
Nice. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's a no to the tweezers. There's sad.
Since we don't have a name yet for the snail, we'll wait until the snail comes back. You'll have time to put it in there. Someone gets it in there, awesome. Yes. But if we don't, I got an idea for later.
Absolutely.
Last name. All right.
Mm-hmm. So it is phase 2, the return to the village. Frank, I'm gonna have you roll that die for me.
3.
A 3. Which is Mist of Sadness.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. No. Mary.
We're going to open phase 2 with, the sudden betrayal of Mary. You're apparently sealed in this cave. What do you do?
I think I run to where the cave entrance was and start feeling around like, what did you do? What? Mary, we're never going to be able to get out of here. We don't have any supplies. We don't have anything. We were just looking to see if he was in here. We were going to head back to town. What are you thinking?
If she can hear you, she does not indicate it.
Okay, so she's either on the other side of the... Oh, wait, no. Is she here? Or is she on the other side of the barrier?
No. She sealed you in.
Okay.
She did not seal herself in with you.
Got it. Man. I knew this was going to happen.
You didn't even dance. You didn't even dance that. Why did you not dance the betrayal steps?
No, wait. I clearly did. I said in the dance that there was danger coming here by our... Maybe we shouldn't be having this argument right now. What are we going to do? I mean, there's miles, right? There's got to be another way out. We could just keep looking for another way out. That makes sense.
Of course, these caves go everywhere. There's got to be another exit.
Right. If it goes everywhere, we could find a place that exists before the cave-in. Simple.
Yes. Does anyone have a light source?
I use my mirror to reflect the light source if you find one.
I'm going to see if I remembered to pack my flashlight.
Give me a survive check on that one.
Yeah. How about it, Frank?
Yeah. Hold on. The ticker. 1.
Oh.
Yes.
A 1, yes.
You so
Yeah.
very remembered it. You would. I feel like that's
Luckily, you actually brought with your bag has a lot of caving supplies in there. You know, just in case, right? You never know how people are going to try and steal the water. They might be doing caving. They might drop in from orbit. You got to be prepared.
I'm prepared.
So you do have a flashlight. You also have some rope, a pickaxe, some chalk for keeping your hands dry while you're climbing. Some pretty good supplies ready to go.
How long of a pole does he have?
Long of a pole?
That is a very dumb D&D reference.
It is.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Legs.
I don't play D&D, so I don't get it.
Bam! Dungeon not included. That's the name of the podcast.
He said it. He said it.
It's the name of the titular line in Dungeon Not Included.
Yeah. It's taken this many game sessions to get there, but we finally did it.
We finally did it.
All right.
Yeah, so you have a flashlight. Are you going to lead the way, Chad?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm going to try searching for a way out.
Right. I'm going to keep your survive roll that you made. You are not super familiar with the caves, but there are a few exploratory teams that come up here, and they do like a bit of muscle every once in a while. So you've been brought on some of those expeditions. And you know that there is a recently discovered exit to this cave entrance that most people in the village wouldn't know about, which is probably why Mary tried to sail you in here. Because as far as you knew until now, this was you had to come out the same way for this cave.
Okay.
So you can start to lead your pals through the caves. But as you do, caves are damp. You get a little bit of like dripping water, some underground rivers. But today there's an odd mist in the caves that you haven't seen before. It starts, creeping up along some of the paths obscuring your footing a little bit. But, this is the way out. So go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to turn to Mustachio and say, looks like somebody brought your smoke machine.
Oh, man, I'd love that. Get some real work done here. You know what I mean? Abs and everything else, so forth. But wait a minute, I'm the only dancer. Who would dare step on my... Mary was right. This guy's dangerous. We got to be careful.
I know. I'll have to take your word for it. I mean, you're the entertainer. You're the leader of us. It's what it is. I don't know what else to say. We're gonna have to find them so you can dance against them.
A truly
a dance
perfect specimen of humanity.
I mean, we discovered after the Space Wars of 2017. No, that's happened already. That's not a real thing.
You're wrong. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fine. Right. No, the Space Wars of 2017.
We
know that the only way. I mean, we know that all galactic. There's no common language, so we've been settling all of our disputes with dance ever since the war. So
ever since the Great War between the nation of Marvel and the nation of DC, as our history books record it.
100%.
Yeah. It was known as the Great Civil War.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stanley be his name,
Yes. I have a plan.
Yeah.
Let's try to go through this cave as quietly as possible, and like, so the smoke is obviously filling out the opening, the space. We got to be as quiet as we can, quietest as whatever space mice we have, and then see if we can get the drop on this person. Because if they really are this dangerous to both our careers and ourselves, that Mary would do this to us, then we really want to be careful. So sneaks.
Right.
Let's do some sneaking.
We'll creep forward quietly.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with this.
You begin to creep forward. And as you do, the mist continues to get thicker. And you begin to inhale some of this damp, misty air. And you let out a breath like a sigh. And when you do, there's this little voice in your head that says, "What are you doing here? Why don't you just sit down? You're never going to get out of these caves. You're never going to find whoever had this pod. You're never going to beat your rival in a dance competition. You're never going to find the cure that you've been looking for. Your mom doesn't even really like you that much, Chad. Why don't you just give up? Sit down, surrender." And the more you go through these mists, the more you just feel this sense of despair wash over you as the mists of sadness begin to envelop you.
Ooh, all right.
Yes, Frank?
I don't think Mustachio has ever had a moment of doubt in his life, self-doubt. So he is. These are completely alien thoughts to him, and I'll verbalize it. I'm like, what is anybody else? There's something in my brain that isn't like my brain. It's thinking. Like, you know, when you do something wrong and it's terrible, I'm thinking, what if I do something wrong, which is impossible. I've got, like, what is it called when your brain lies to you and says you're not perfect? I've got that suddenly in me. And we're all sighing very loudly and we're trying to walk quietly. So this is not, none of this is working for me. Does anybody else have that?
No.
But you're crying. You're. Wait a minute. You do have that. Dr. Jimmy, do you also have it?
Jimmy is just holding. He's just staring at the Dewey Decimal number on the side of the book that he had carried with him in here that was from the library, and he just looks so despondent and sad as he like just stares into that little dot in the middle of the Dewey Decimal number. So, what's that, Mustachio?
Yeah, I mean, normally you're a little sad anyways, but I think now you're especially sad. Also, the only girl in the village who liked you is most likely dead or a killer. But like, even then, it's too much sadness. There's something going on. Everyone stop breathing.
Who passes out first? Is that a survival check as we do this? How's this working?
Frank, I want you to make an enrapture check. Because you're kind of talking everybody out of this, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I'm making it obvious. I got a 2. I made it. I'm making
Nice.
it. This is artificial. This isn't from your own mind. This is being forced on you.
Mm-hmm.
I make a convincing argument.
It's
Yeah.
Stupid convincing argument.
Yeah.
So, as Mustachio begins to describe this group, Chad, your mom loves you. You guys are best friends. There's no way she wouldn't like you. You're cool. And Jimmy, obviously, Mary had a good reason to do this, or she wouldn't have.
That's probably right.
And no, go ahead.
I'm sure she's fine. She must have a very good reason for this. When we get back, I will buy her some flowers and ask her to explain why she pointed a gun at us.
And Mustachio, you're the best there is. Like,
I never doubted
down. You never doubted yourself for a second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is like one of those times where you're at a party and they put something in the smoke machine, but didn't tell you beforehand, so you didn't take the antidote beforehand, and everyone's getting high, and you're also high. You know what I mean, right? Everyone knows what I mean.
Yeah, and as you begin to regain your self-confidence, these mists like swirl around you, and they're still there, but they don't touch you anymore, and you're not breathing them in. And it's as if you had like touched a cat on its tail and it hissed at you and backed away. It's like the self-confidence is repelling the mist somehow.
Nice.
So egotistical.
Your ego saved us.
Yeah.
Your ego saved everybody.
I'm too awesome to let this hurt me.
And Chad, you can, without this self-doubt weighing on you, you can lead everyone to the exit to the caves. And as you emerge and look up at the stars, you see that it's about midnight. You had entered the caves somewhere around 8 or 9 o'clock, and it's gotten pretty late into the evening. Everybody must be wondering where you are.
Yeah, we've got to go back to the village.
I think Jimmy pulls out the snail equivalent of a conch shell, and he blows into it to attract his snail to come back to him. And I think as they come up, the camera pans and we see the 2 spider horses alongside the snail, who is it's just a black snail with a big black shell. It's just Black Beauty. Go with the classic, lean into the horse girl thing.
Yes.
So
we all know
Beauty.
what my picture is of now. It's definitely a snail.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Right? Yeah.
Was it Black Beauty as a larva or whatever a baby snail is, and like was the one that got away, couldn't afford it, and Dr.
Yeah,
Jimmy
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
They're adorable when they're born. They just fall right at their mothers and start slurming around all over the ground.
Eating rocks to build up their shells.
Yeah.
So cute.
Mm-hmm.
So you call the snail and the spider horses to you, and you all climb on and return to the village. And I think that's where we're going to cut it for the night.
Perfect.
Awesome. That was great.
This is
oh
fun.
my god.
Next time, phase 3, climb Dracula Mountain.
Nice.
Right. Perfect.
So what I love about this game in terms of this podcast is that it is probably the most fun I've had rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and Roll20 is great, and I think Fate is Bulldogs and Fate runs a little bit smoother than World of Darkness does, but like it's just roll a die, do your thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that feels better for
Simple.
a podcast,
Right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And when you fail, I get to write something funny on your character sheet.
Yes,
like last time, Frank, what I wrote on Frank's sheet is your only feature you're not entirely confident about is your eyebrows. Which is
Perfect.
what all the teasing was about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. I can't, now that we are playing this, we should tell people so that they will tune in. I can't wait until we share this video. I hope we get a bunch of stands coming for next week, insistent on naming other various bugs and critters.
Oh,
we,
100%.
Come across. That'd be nice.
Yes.
I mean, we have a lot of stuff to name. We don't have the name for our town yet. We don't have
correct.
Right?
So many things.
I'm sure there's going to be some NPCs. We'll see what happens.
I love it.
All right.
Yeah, of course, follow us on all the social medias. We're on Dungeon Not Included on Facebook, Twitter, probably somewhere on Tumblr. I don't know, maybe. And definitely on Twitch, YouTube, and streaming into your face from Non-Productive.com. This is a lot of fun. Thank you, Rebel, for running.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Woo! We'll just start immediately another chapter then. Is that okay? I could play for another hour.